Regina. I'm going to film a quick video today. Hopefully, it's under an hour, and it's going to focus on stretching. I posted a video the other day that was yoga practice. Today it will be stretching with the intention to bring a lot more people in um, with this in mind. That we are going to focus on moving the body in a way that should be accessible and available to most everybody. We'll not be getting down on the floor. You don't need a yoga mat. There's just a few things that we need, and you need a little bit of space. I'm in my bedroom, and it's not very big, and I'm in a very narrow area here, which is enough. So the idea is to warm up the body, to move around, to stimulate increased blood flow, to improve the way we're breathing, to improve flexibility, to work the joints, to lubricate them in an improved way. So I hope that this is a video that you will find useful. A couple of things that I would like you to have nearby. I'm not in a studio, so I don't have my regular yoga equipment, but what I do have, and you probably would have the same things at home, so I'm going to ask you to have them nearby. The advantage of this being not a live video is that you can turn it off, you can come back to it when you want. So I'll show you what you need, then you can gather them and meet me back here. I'm going to we'll use a strap or a belt. I'm using my regular pants belt. It's perfect. It'll do just the job. I don't have a yoga block. I'm a big advocate of yoga blocks in my classes for what we're going to do today. But because I don't have one, I do have a towel, and a towel works. So I would say a bath towel, regular size, not oversized. Bath towel, fold it in half, double it up again, and then I'm gonna fold it in half again, so I've got this narrow strip of towel. Then I'd like you to roll this, and just like you're rolling up a sleeping bag, you want to get it just as tight as you can. So we're gonna roll it up really, really tightly, and we use that tightly rolled towel as alternative to a yoga block. Lastly, I don't have hand weights because I'm not in a studio, but what I do have is a lot of canned goods. So I'm going to use canned goods, and I would say that you probably have a surplus as well. These will work fine. I just have a couple of cans of beans. You can have corn, you can have whatever you want. The idea is not a big muscle building, but to, with repeated repetitions and a lightweight, to tone the muscles. We're going to use this for our arms, to tone the arm muscles with a very lean line. So we're not going to build big muscle, but we'll definitely tone them. So those cans would be useful. Lastly, have a chair nearby. I've got a folding chair. I'm going to get to that. We'll use that later on. So yes, part of this practice includes sitting down in a chair, which, yay, that may be a good thing for some of you. So I want to begin with a basic warm-up, and what I do typically in my stretch class that I teach is a few warm-up movements. And the first one we'll begin with is to address the shoulders and to recognize your support. So we're going to simulate a swim stroke. I'd like you to hug your belly and bend your knees a little bit, and then start to swim like you're swimming in a pool or a lake. Reach and lengthen with your swim stroke. So like you're grabbing hold of water and then separating your fingers, pull it back, feel your fingers gliding through the water. You want to get a lot of stretch here. So we're taking the arms in a more exaggerated lift and movement than you would if you were really swimming, but that is helping to warm up the shoulders. In the meantime, we're looking to reach and lengthen. That impacts the stretch through the skin, the connective tissue through the back and along the rib cage. A couple of more forward, and then changing this into a backstroke. Stand up tall, take your arm up and take a twist. Look at your hand as you trace back your fingers on the wall behind you. So we're looking to get a lot of height. That's going to open up the chest, and then a reach back. It's, again, exaggerated, and it's not quick. We're not going really, really fast here. Slow it down. Feel how your shoulders respond. This might be uncomfortable for you. It might be tight. I want you to pay attention to how your body feels. So when I'm doing what I'm doing, don't try to mimic it so much, but really listen to what your body is giving you. I want to, of course, promote good form and good posture, mindfulness, but we're all moving in different bodies, so do what you can here. That looking back at your hand is taking the spine into a little bit of a twist. It's a good warm-up for the spine. And you can feel this. I'm sure you're feeling the skin and muscles respond. We do a few more back than we do forward simply because we usually don't move our arms in a reverse rotation like this. We're much more familiar with a forward movement of the arms. One more each arm. And coming all the way back, we're going to take a bend in the knees. Take your hands on your knees. We're going to come through cow and cat. And those of you who practice yoga know the movement. The focus is the spinal column. We're moving the spine forward and back. We're working the spine. And we're going to follow the breath. So I'd like to just suggest that you work on breathing here through your nose. Try to relax your tongue. Let it be like a wet leaf at the bottom of your mouth, really softening the back of the throat. You'll breathe better when the tongue is quiet. So breathing through the nose, we're going to follow the invitation of the breath. And this really matters. So try not to be distracted and start to move without breathing. We want to pay attention to the breath guiding the movement and the body following that breath or the breath's invitation. Not overthinking it, but just being aware of that. Hands on your knees. On my inhale, I'm moving into cow. You can see I'm dropping my belly, the sway belly of a cow, stretching the spine. The hips reach back, the chin is away from the throat. On my exhale, I'm rounding the back, hugging the belly to the spine, drawing the tailbone under and tucking the chin in. Go with this a few times. The inhale, we breathe into cow. It makes sense. You're really open to breathe into the body on inhale. Exhale, round to stretch. Let's do that a few more times. You can definitely you don't need to look at the camera here. Maybe close your eyes and see how your spine is responding. You're following the breath. Don't jump ahead of it. You can hear your breath, and each movement you're getting more mobility, increased mobility, certainly more blood flow along the spinal column. Let's take one more. So exaggerate this. Get a little bit more. And then when you round your back, stay with that rounded back. Release your hands from your knees. Interlace your fingers. Press your hands forward. So I'd like you to pull back the fingers to stretch the fingers themselves, the palm of the hand. If it hurts, if you've got arthritis and it hurts your hands, don't pull back. But we'll press the hands forward. As I'm pushing my hands forward, I want the back to reach back. So I'm good. My hands going one way in the back, reaching in the opposite direction. Hold. I'm going to angle my arms down towards the floor. That's going to shift the stretch a little bit higher to the middle back, upper back. Drop my knees a little bit more and then come straight up into standing. When you come up into standing, take a side fold. Over to the right. Over to the left. I'm going to correct that because I realize I'm going to be opposite of you. Come on back to middle. I'll correct that as we move forward. Come on down. Bring your arms down. Let's take a shoulder shrug here. Shrug up high and then drop. The weight of the arms is enough to stretch the neck. A couple of times. So we're really lifting, shrugging your shoulders to your ears and then drop it down. A couple of more times. Good. And then last time. Now take your hands forward. Make a tight fist of your hand. Up and down with your hands. So the knuckles to the ceiling, the knuckles to the floor. I'd like you to pay attention to this. It seems like a pretty easy thing to do, but it's good for the wrist. I want you to pay attention to how you're moving, how it's changing as you repeat the action, what kind of heat you might feel in the joint. That's an increase of blood flow. What kind of mobility you're feeling. Now circle rotations. Again, pretty simple stuff, but it matters. The joints need lubrication. And if we don't do things like this, they tend to be not as well lubricated as they should be. We don't get as much blood flow into them. This rotation providing a good amount of blood flow both directions here. Then when you're done, and you should do this throughout the day often, shake out your arms. Like you've got wet hands, shake it out, wet arms, and then release. We'll do a little bit of movement that will lift the heart rate a little bit. It's fairly simple, but recognize that you are balancing when you're doing this. So again, engage your core, draw your belly in. Keep that in mind, kind of keep a firm belly throughout. Lifting one knee at a time. So there's our balance. Everything we do is balance, but here is more obvious balance. One leg supporting the body as you lift the knee. When we're doing this, we're going to add the arms elbow to knee. Should feel, I hope, available. Working on balance, working on a little bit of twist, warming up our body, and starting to increase the heart rate. Make sure that you're breathing. Remember that idea of relaxing your tongue and trying to breathe through the nose. A couple of more. You can go faster if you want. can take a break if you want. Do what is good for you. A couple of more. Don't take a break. Stay with me. One more each arm. And then come back to center. I'm going to do a little bit of simple flow. When I say simple, I don't mean to suggest that everything is simple. Your body might be tight, so it might be hard for you. Work within your capacity. Each movement that we take, very basic flow. Each movement has a breath that guides the movement. So let's do this together. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale. Root down through your feet. Reach up as high as you can. With your exhale, swan dive forward like you're diving off a high dive. Bend your knees. Take a slow release down. That's your exhale. Hands on your shins or above the knees on the thighs, wherever you can place them. Halfway up, lift. Inhale. Lift up your belly. Reach the crown of the head forward. Engage your legs. Forward fold, exhale. Hold the back of your legs and take a forward fold wherever you can. Root down through your feet, sleep tall to standing. Inhale. 2 more times, same thing. Swan dive forward. Bend your knees. Take it slow. All the breath out. Flat back, lift halfway. Inhale. Reaching the crown of the head forward, strong legs. Exhale, forward fold. Some of you might be able to go deeper, some of you less deep than this. Wherever you're going is fine. Root down through your feet, lift up tall. Nice and tall, take your time here. Same thing, slow forward fold. Exhale. Flat back, lift halfway. Inhale. Forward fold, lengthen. Exhale. We're going to repeat that. Flat back, lift, hold here for a moment. Lift your thighs, hug up your belly, back is straight. Now take a forward fold and stay here. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Let your head drop. We're stretching the glutes, the hamstrings, the back. If you can straighten your legs, straighten them. Now drop your hips behind you, bend your knees a lot. Sweep your arms up. We're going to lift tall to standing. Inhale. Out of the mouth, exhale as you bring your arms back. Start tucking in. Lift up, big breath in. Let's do that 2 more times. Last one. Coming all the way up to standing, bring your arms around your back, interlace your fingers, bend your knees, lift your arms off your back. If you can't do this, if you can't interlace your fingers, use that belt that you've got, lifting the arms off the back. Either case, either using the belt or the strap or interlacing the fingers. We're going to hold here, stretching. As you hold here, stretching across the chest wall. Soften your toes. I would say try to do this series without shoes. You don't really need shoes here. Gives us a better point of contact when we're barefoot. And so if you are not wearing shoes, float your toes off the floor here, and you'll feel the ball mound and the heel of your foot are rooting down or connecting you to the floor. Good. Now bring your arms down. We're going to use the towel here. If you have a yoga block, use the yoga block. We're going to take the towel, and the idea is to promote better balance, posture alignment, and to engage the adductor muscles, which are the muscles on the inner thigh. The larger muscles we use pretty heavily, and sometimes some of the smaller muscles and muscles that we tend to not think about, we overlook. With using a towel or a block, we'll definitely be engaging the adductors. Take your towel between your thighs. You're going to open up the legs to get the towel right up as high as you can to the upper inner thighs. I don't have any space between my pubic bone and the towel. So if you're down here and you've got a little bit of room, please bring it up. Once you have the towel or the block between your legs, walk your feet as close together as you can. We're going to come into just a simple standing balanced posture. And it starts with the intention of root through the feet. So if you don't have shoes on, lift your toes. Feel the ball mound and the heel of your foot on the floor. If you have shoes on, still try to lift your toes. You have point of contact, ball mound and the heel of the foot. When you lift your toes, you should feel a response to the legs. Maybe your shins are more active now. The knees, the quads are more active. So I'd like you to keep your toes lifted for now. Now squeeze the towel or the block as tightly as you can. As you draw in on the towel, you're engaging those inner thigh muscles. You should feel that stabilizing your balance or posture through the pelvic region, through the hips and into the low back. As soon as you let go of that, we tend to lose that strong alignment. So holding the towel or the block, squeeze it. You're rooting down through the feet. We're drawing down through the feet. We're squeezing the towel. Now lightly lift the crown of your head. Imagine I'm holding you by the hair and I'm pulling you up. Keep the crown of the head lifted. Turn your hands forward, palms face forward, and reach your fingertips to the floor. Try not to drop your head forward. We've got this nice straight line, aligning the body from ears to ankles. So this is good posture. It's not a posture that we typically have in our day-to-day. We tend to be a little bit lazy about posture. This is a reminder of what good posture is. Root down through your feet. Reach down through your fingertips. Squeeze the towel, lift the crown of your head. Breathe. And then relax. What are you not using? You're not using your face. So take the work out of your face. You're not using your hands. Relax them. So let the body find balance and alignment. When we are aligned, when we're balanced, we breathe better. We circulate blood flow better. The body is in a better place. Our body wants to be balanced. So take advantage of this time, finding good posture. From here, bring your arms up overhead. We're going to cross the elbows, take a side fold, and as I'm folding, I'm going to go to my left. As I go to the left, I'm holding the towel just as tightly as you can. That prevents the hips from doing this big shift off to the side, which could be harmful for the back. So we squeeze the towel and take your side fold. Now I'm stretching the spine from the base of the spine right to the neck. Come back to middle, and then I'll stretch to the right. And the same thing, I'm giving the spine an opportunity to get familiar with this shape, this position. It's not typical in our day-to-day to take a side fold like this and to hold it. So give yourself a little bit of time, squeeze the towel, and then come on back to middle. We're going to come back to those side folds, but I would like you to release your arms and take your belt again. If you didn't use it last time, but taking the belt for the first time, take it in half. We don't need a whole lot of the belt. And take your arms up overhead. Actually, rest your arms for a moment. I just want to tell you where we're going. We're going to go side fold where we were. Now adding then a back bend. So moving into back bend. And then coming to forward fold. These are all 4 different movements that we will move into following the lead or the invitation of the breath. Root down through your feet, right back to that good posture. Hold the towel tightly. Take your strap up overhead, relax your shoulders. You can bend your elbows a little bit here. Hollow out your mouth, relax your tongue. Inhale here. On your exhale, fold to the right. Hear the breath. You should hear the lungs empty to the very last drop of breath. Squeeze the towel, squeeze your belly and lift to middle. Inhale. Your shoulders are relaxed. Exhale to the left. So you get to the end of the breath. Squeeze the towel, squeeze your belly and inhale to middle. Exhale, rooting down to the feet. Lift up and open up into back bend, stretching the front of the rib cage and the spine. Inhale to middle. Exhale, hug your belly and reach the knuckles to the wall in front of you. Your gaze is down to the floor. Hold the towel just as tight as you can. Squeeze the towel tighter. Inhale, lift. So the action of rooting and the strength of the legs, the action of the legs, is supporting the upper body in our movement. So we're counting on that low body support. We'll move with the breath. Exhale on your side fold. And then the inhale is to middle. Now to back bend. Exhale. Open up your underarms. Lift your gaze to the ceiling. Stretch the front of the body. Your middle inhale. Hold the towel tighter. It'll help your back. Exhale, hinging forward, not rounding the back. Knuckles are forward. Your gaze is down to the floor. Come on, back up. Lift, inhale. Back to the right. Last time. Remember, don't lift your shoulders. Keep the shoulders quiet. A bend in the elbows might remind you to unshrug the shoulders. We don't want them to fatigue here. It's the spine that we're really paying attention to. And with that, of course, the rib cage, the lungs, skin, connective tissue, muscles, all the way forward, taking that forward fold again, hold. And then release. Come all the way up to center. We're going to take the strap for now, just hang it around your neck. We don't need it right now. I want to come into a chair pose. So we're holding the towel, squeeze it. We'll give the shoulders and arms a little bit of a break. Bend your knees, hold the towel between your thighs and then pulse in and release. So we're squeezing as tightly as we can, releasing. You'll know where the adductor muscles are at the end of this class. So they're really key. As I said, we tend to use more heavily the larger muscles, the muscles that we're more familiar with, the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings. Right now, our intention is to use these muscles. They're very, very key to the core muscle support of the body and how the muscles support the body. So we're squeezing in, releasing. Last time. And then come straight to standing. We'll keep the towel between the hands. I'd like you to get your cans for now. You can keep the strap around your neck. Get your cans. Hammer curl. So the arms are alongside the body. Bring your arms close in, and then with the cans going up and down proper lengthwise, lift the top of the can towards your shoulder, and then bring down. I'm going to say go pretty slowly here. Focus on engaging the bicep muscle. That's primarily our focus here, is the biceps. So we're squeezing it and then releasing. The cans are light. For some of you, you're going to be like, oh, it's no big deal. That's fine. Our intention, as I said, is to create healthier muscles, a leaner muscle line. And so when we slow down and we're breathing and the tongue's out of the way and you're really paying attention, you are absolutely saturating these muscles now with a good supply of blood flow. An improved supply of blood flow. So that's the purpose. If you want bigger muscles, get bigger weights and do that on your own. But this is not with that intention. Now coming up, take the cans to your shoulders. Turn the palms now to the ceiling. Keeping the arms hugging your rib cage, we're lifting cans to the shoulders and releasing. In the meantime, you've still got the towel or the block between your thighs. Hold it. You'll feel that supporting your spine, the lift of the spinal column, the support of the trunk of the body, and the lift of the crown of the head. It's a little bit of action of the inner thighs, and it creates a tremendous difference in our balance and our support. So making a fist, squeeze as tight as you can, and then release. Squeezing as tight as you can and release. Let's do a few more. Last one. Bring your arms down. Put the cans down. We're going to use the towel, sorry, not the towel, the strap or the belt. Take it behind your back. Have it opened up. Have your hands at shoulder width apart, so wrist to shoulder alignment. We're going to start up in an upright position. The work will be on the inhale. The exhale will be the quieting or the softening. So on your inhale, hold the towel. Lift your arms off your back. Broaden the chest. Broaden the collarbones. Lift your arms just as high as you can. There's your inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees a little bit. Let your arms drop. Take your chin towards your throat. Your gaze towards your toes. Inhale, root down through the feet. Lift the crown of your head. Lift your arms. Hold the towel as tightly as you can. And then really soften back down. Exhale. We're going to do 8 more. Follow your breath. Your inhale is your lift. Pull the ends of the strap as you're lifting, and then exhale, softening. Straighten out your legs. Lift tall. Inhale. All the way down. Exhale. I'm not counting. I'm not sure how many we're going to do more. But I'd like you to hear your breath through the back of the throat. Feel the breath and see it. Visualize it going right to the tips of the lungs on your inhale. And then exhale all the breath out. There's no hurry up at all. Take your time. Remember what I said, to like you're stretching the strap or pulling it apart. So now we're impacting the tricep muscles on that lift. Let's do 2 more. How are you breathing? Where are your thoughts? If you're drifting away, come back, please. Pay attention to your body here. At the end of this last one, bring the strap out in front of you again. If your towel or a block is slipping, bring it back up. I want to take the strap again into side fold. We're going to hold it a little bit longer. I'm going to come back here for a moment. The hands right above the shoulders, so we've got hands at shoulder width apart again. Hold the block or the towel. Come to the right and stay here. I'd like the right hand to be pulling the left hand down. Bend your elbows a little bit. You don't need to have a super straight arm. And then squeeze the towel tighter. So as we're holding here, we're creating so much room in the left side body, through the underarm, through the rib cage, into the lung, and along the waistline. This helps to tone those muscles, helps to stretch the intercostal muscles. They're the ones that are used to expand the rib cage and to contract the rib cage when we breathe. The more healthy those intercostal muscles are, the better the ribs can expand and contract, the better then we can effectively use the lungs to breathe. Come on back to center. So they matter. Coming over to the other side, we're going to give it enough time to stretch, to warm up, to tone, to create a more elastic muscle wall through the rib cage. Hold the towel tightly. Try not to let your head drop forward. Bring it back in space. Remember, you can bend your elbows. The weight of the body is enough to stretch along the side body. You'll feel that plenty. And you're breathing, right? Now come on back tall to center. You come back to center. We're going to put the belt down for now. Just shake out your hands. There's probably a little bit of fatiguing there. Now coming to a twist. Bend your knees. Just like we did before, we're squeezing in on the towel. Hold that. I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee and take my right hand forward. Holding the towel, bring your thighs together, hold your knee, turn to the right and look back at your thumb. Now drop your shoulders, relax your tongue, breathe in through the nose. When you exhale, breathe out of the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. With every exhale that you take, see if you can get a little bit more twist. Release, come to center, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Maybe touch your hands. If your shoulders don't allow for that, separate your hands, that's fine. Now lift your heels off the floor with balance on the ball mounds of the feet. It may take you a while to get your balance. If you come out of it, come back when you're ready. Balancing on the ball mounds of the feet, relax your hands, relax your shoulders, relax your head. Maybe shake your head no. How are you breathing? Where are you at? Come back. If you find that you're drifting away and thinking about other things, come back. Now release, bring your heels down. Taking the right hand to the left knee, I'm going to take my twist to the left, looking back at my thumb. I want to draw attention to the squeezing in the belly as you exhale. Last one. And then release, coming right back into our standing position. Arms lift, breathe, relax. Float your heels off the floor. Releasing all the way down. Let's move the towel, please, or the block. I'm going to suggest a wide stance. I'd like your feet to be wider than your hips, toes turned out to the side, and then bend your knees, have your knees right above your ankles. That stretch should feel pretty good for the inner thighs since we're engaging those muscles so much. So a little pulse up and down, not bouncing, just nice and low. And then we'll take this to a full leg. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, touch your hands. Imagine you're moving your arms through water. Engage your legs. Exhale, we'll breathe out of the mouth. Dropping the hips down. Come on back up. Root down through the feet. Push down. Lift up. Inhale. One more time. Draw your belly in. Exhale. Coming down. Lift the left heel. Lift the right heel. Come back and forth. You want to bring your hands to your hips? Please do. We're coming back and forth a few times. One more each side. And then release, come to standing. Take that high step again like you're climbing high stairs. And we're going to use a chair, not to sit down yet, but just to have something to hold on to. Take your chair. I'll just have it off to the side so I can balance on my right leg. Right leg is supporting. I'm going to lift my left foot off the floor, bend the knee, and hold the underside of my thigh. point and flex my foot. If you have a hard time lifting your leg in a standing pose like this, let me just say, you can also use that strap or that belt to hold the leg up. Additionally, if you prefer to sit on the chair and point and flex your foot, you can do that. And then rotate your ankle. Do about 6 times in each direction. Give it notice. Notice your ankles, they take the brunt of the weight of the body. It's a lot of weight that sits on these joints. So a slow rotation and enough time to break up some of the compression and improve blood flow into them. It matters. Take your knee out to the side. I'm going to open up into the hip a little bit. Back and forth, you can guide it with your hand. If this is maybe hard for you, keep the toe to the floor and then knee pivot here. So that's still going to impact the hip, and that's really our focus, is to kind of shift the ball and joint. Last time, come to center, cross your ankle above your knee. Again, if you need to use your hand to get your ankle up, take your ankle above your knee, bend your standing leg. I'm going to hold my bed and the chair. You might want to do the same thing, and then drop your hips behind you. I want to change my direction here for a moment. I want you to avoid too much of a lean forward. It's not so much the upper body that we're stretching, it's the hips. So I want the upper body to be lifted and dropping your hips behind you. This drop back with your ankle crossed above your knee is going to deeply stretch the hip joint, and that will impact ligaments and tendons and the gluteus muscles, all of the structure around the hip. It also improves blood flow. You've changed the position of the ball and joint, and just really infusing an increased amount of blood flow into the joint. Keep your foot flexed. We want to keep that ankle very strong so that our focus is on the hips and doesn't impact our knee. Another breath here, drop down, and then come on out of that. We'll do the same thing on the other side. The same lift. So I'm balancing on the left leg, right leg lifts. Bringing the knee up, put your belt around your leg if you want to, point and flex. Without being distracted. So how does it feel? What are you hearing? Wiggle your toes too. And then slow rotations around with your ankle. Feel it. No rotation is the same. Other direction. Every rotation we're getting a little bit more blood flow, a little bit more range of motion. So it is never the same. We're really improving the health of the joint of the ankle. Now knee out to the side. Out, back, a couple of times. Remember, you can take your toe to the floor and do it that way. So in either case, working the hip. Coming back to middle, cross your ankle above your knee, right ankle above the knee, flex your foot. Keep the foot active, drop back. And remember, we're sitting back and lift the crown of your head. Try not to lean forward. A lot of weight on the heel and the ball mound of your foot. If you don't need to hold the chair or the bed, and you take this into prayer hands, go ahead and do that. That's good balance work. You can add that. Otherwise, hold on if you need to. We're looking for progression and patience. So we get to that first bit, and it may feel very strong for you. Breathe. Relax your face, your tongue. Let your breath calm the nervous system. And let it invite change. So the longer that we hold a pose, the more time our body has to get familiar with it. And then things begin to change. And you should feel that here. Maybe getting a little bit more room. If not today, and the next time you do this, or the time after that. But we're looking for change for the positive, progression. Good, now release, come on up. We're going to sit on the chair. I'm going to move it back here. I want to stretch the back a little bit, so I'd like you to sit on your chair a little bit forward and stretch your legs out in front of you so that you can flex your feet, toes are to the ceiling. Take your hands to your hips. Come out of the low back, so lifting tall, stretch the spine. Hold an egg between your chin and your throat. Imagine it's there. You don't want to crack it. You don't want to drop it, so keep that neutral position. Hinge forward where you can. So this might be as far as you go. Flex your feet a lot. Engage the quads. We're stretching gradually. Hold your egg. Don't drop your head. Don't tilt it forward. And continue to flex your feet. Gradually stretching along the spinal column. Think about reaching the crown of your head to the wall in front of you. Not trying to take our nose to our knee at all, but stretching the entire length of the spine. If you want to hold the chair, that's fine. Keep the feet flexed. And then come on up, releasing that. Take your knees wider um, and open them up to the side. Let your hands rest on your knees and drop your head down. So you're looking down, maybe at your hands. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes, up and down. And then lift. Now with your legs out wider, take your legs in an open V shape. Open V shape. Take a forward fold. Slide your hands down your legs. Let your head drop. And let the crown of the head drop down towards the floor. So letting the head drop forward, stretching the spine. We're in an inversion here. If you don't want to be in an inversion, if you have glaucoma, avoid this. Don't be in an inversion for more than a couple of breaths. But if you can stay forward, stretch out your back, fold forward, hang out here for a little bit. Drop your head more. Give it a couple of breaths. And then release, come on back up to center. So I want to come to the neck and the shoulders a little bit. So we're seated in a chair, nice position, nice posture. We're going to work the head and up and down movement, so chin to throat, chin away from your throat. Do that a few times. Get a feel for what's going on in your neck, where there might be tightness or limitation. And are you able to get more movement as you repeat? Bring your head to center. Now, like you're shaking your head, no, look over the right shoulder, over the left shoulder. And as you're doing this, you don't need to look at the camera at all or the screen at all. Let your head go in each direction. And read your neck. Is it easier to go one way than it is the other? Probably it is. Come on back to middle. Now right ear towards the right shoulder, left ear towards the left shoulder. You want to avoid dropping your head forward. Take your time with this. It's pretty strong, I think. So we're dropping in each direction. Imagine my hands are on your shoulders, and I'm pressing your shoulders down. Good, one more each way. Now come on back to middle. We're going to come back to the head in a moment, but I want to come back to twist here. I'd like you to bring your arms up to the ceiling, lift. On your exhale, turn to the right. Take your left hand to your right knee. Imagine that towel between your thighs. Hug the thighs together. Take your right hand on the chair back behind you. So you're looking to your right. Spread your chest. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Feel the weight of your hips heavy on the floor. On your inhale, imagine I'm holding you by the top of your head. Lift up tall. Inhale. We're going to breathe out in the nose. Exhale, using your hands on the chair back and on your knee. Twist to the first breath. Squeeze in your belly as you exhale. Get all the breath out of the lungs. Start from here. Inhale again. Squeeze your belly and exhale, twist. To the very last drop of breath. Keep your posture, your nice tall height here. Inhale again, tall. And then again, exhale, twist. And then release, come on back to center. So if you picture your spine like a coiled spring, and if you didn't separate the coils, it'd be very hard to manipulate the spring, or like a slinky. If you separate the coils, then you get much more movement of that spring. And the same thing applies for the spine. If we're here, it's very hard to twist. So that idea of lifting first, stretching the spine, and then twisting, that infuses increased blood flow along the spinal column. The postural muscles benefit, the spine benefits, the whole body benefits. Additionally, when you're exhaling and we're twisting, pressing in the belly and breathing to the last drop of breath, that action helps to massage the organs in the abdominal cavity. So you get the benefit of not only twisting the spine and keeping a healthier spine, but also emptying or cleansing the organs in the abdominal cavity with each twist. It's like you're wringing out a sponge or a dish towel. Every twist, you're squeezing out some of that old blood or old energy that accumulates otherwise into the organs, and now you're flushing that out. So a lot happening here. Let's do the other side. Inhale, bring your arms up, lift tall. Turning to your left, right hand on your left knee, left hand on the chair back. Relax your shoulders. Feel the spread across your collarbones. Feel the spread from shoulder to shoulder. Root down through your sitting bones, just like you did with your feet, and sit up tall. Reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. 3 breaths. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze your belly and twist. See where you go. Try not to drop your head, please. 2 more breaths. Each exhalation is going to deepen your twist. At the end of your third breath, come forward. That's a good movement, and we don't tend to hold a twist that long. I would say try to include that in your day today. I want to come back to the neck. So we did those side movements, forward movement of the head. Let's do a rotation. So starting with your chin towards your throat, let your hands rest on your knees. Going clockwise, circle your head around. I always say close your eyes here. You don't need to see me. Better off with your eyes closed. How do you feel? What's going on in your neck? What do you hear? We're going to keep repeating the movement. Try to imagine my hands are on your shoulders. Keep your shoulders from riding up. And as you repeat the rotation, you're definitely getting more room. So take advantage of that. Try to go a little bit bigger with each rotation. Coming forward, change it, go in the opposite direction. What do you hear? What are you noticing? And again, looking to increase the mobility. So, go to the next edge. We work at sometimes a comfortable place. Challenge yourself a little bit. Can you go deeper? Can you make the circle slower or bigger? One more time around. Do as many of these as you want, of course. And then when you come back to center, we'll bring the head above the shoulders. I want to come back to the hands for a moment. So taking your hands, palms facing forward, spread your fingers wide. Point your fingers straight down to the floor. Hold that. You'll feel this right through the forearm. Back up high, big spread of your hands. Down. It's good for the arms. You can feel this. And the muscles through the forearms and into the wrists. One more. And then release. Like you're holding a doorknob that's big. You want a big grab here. From your shoulders, turn this imaginary doorknob. You can take your arms out to the side. Let me do that. So the arms out to the side and turning like you're trying to get in a door, and you keep working that doorknob right, left. Each time you're doing this, you're going to get, again, increased range of motion. The shoulders are going to respond. More blood flow there. So chances are you can go a little bit bigger each time. Let's do one more in each direction. And then come on back to center. I think that's it for this class today. It's going to keep it short. It's enough that we did today that you should feel a change in your body. We keep it under 45 minutes. That's a good thing. Try to do this often, and take time to consider what you're doing and how you're breathing. Let's close with 3 breaths. Bring your arms up, lift, inhale. Take a lift here, small, lean back, maybe a little bit of a back bend. Inhale, exhale. Let your arms come on down. 2 more times. Breathe through your nose. Lift, inhale. And exhale. Last time. What are you breathing in? Let it be good. Nourish yourself with this breath. And what is important for you to let go of? Breathe it out here. Releasing. So I thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you get something out of this, and I'm delighted to have you here today. Have a great day. We'll all be good. We work on breathing and calming the nervous system, reducing levels of stress. Go for a walk. Take advantage of your time while you can, to keep your body healthy, to keep your mind at peace, and to be a good neighbor and a companion to everybody. So I thank you again for coming and for listening and watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you.